Hello, hello! I am Kasasagi Usagi, and I am here with more Pillars of Eternity. Bum, 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 bum. Thank you so much for the follow. So we were in a forest, a zone we had just entered last time, and all my characters were dying because uh, that's just how it be. And I went to take a rest, and then this screen popped up, and I'm like, fantastic. It's probably the introduction for the White Marsh 2, which we will not be doing right this second, but it wasn't something I wanted to skip through without everybody here. So, let's just hop right into it. As you sleep, you are buoyed and buffeted by the vagaries of dreams. They tumble and thrash about you and fill your mind's eye with pale, glittering motes. They resolve into light snowfall and a biting northerly wind. You recognize the mountains of the White Marsh rising around you, and you shiver. You see Stalwart a few miles away, quiet and still, but for a few curling streams of smoke rising from the chimneys. Durgan's battery is perched above it, its shadow stretching into the valley. Above it all, you hear a deep, slow rhythm. At first, it sounds like a distant drumming, but then it grows louder, cracking through the dry air and booming from the mountain peaks. It builds until you feel it reverberating beneath your feet. Let's go to Durgan's battery, perhaps. You head towards the fortress, but soon the shaking ground halts your progress. Each thud comes louder and faster than the next. Thunder echoes from the mountain tops as great sheets of ice and snow tumble down the slopes. But the rhythm keeps building, shattering frozen lakes like crystal saucers. New ravines split through the mountains as cold chasms fill snow and scree. A rock slide buries Stalwart, and Durgan's battery is shaken into rubble. Shadows rise over the mountains, the vanguard of a massive army. You flee. You tumble from the foothills and bound across the Direwood, feeling the rumble of the advancing army all the while. Let's barricade ourselves in Cadnua. Cadnua rises from the forest, its mended walls reaching out to you like a pair of strong arms. You barricade yourself within the great halls as the pounding grows louder and closer still. It rattles the foundations of the great keep, and just as the masonry begins shaking loose, you hear an unholy battle cry coming from your courtyard. The ceiling collapses and sends a cascade of bricks and beams onto your head. You struggle to wakefulness, kicking at the bedding knotted around your legs. As you shake free of the last bonds of sleep, you hear a voice whisper something in a language you've never heard, and you see an image of 100 shifting, staring eyes. You waken feverishly, warm and covered in sweat. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, oh. Oh. God, that reminded me so very much of God, I don't know if any so there's a podcast called the Adventure Zone. And it's done by the McElroy brothers, who are probably most notorious for their podcast, My Brother and Me, but they've also done things on the Polygon channel, like Monster Factory and stuff. You've probably heard of them or seen their work in some form. But they did a D&D podcast called The Adventure Zone, and they had this thing. It was like the massive eyes. Can't even remember what it's called. Oh boy.
How may I help?
Oh, Durance is about to get his ass beat. You. That is okay. I am doing well. How are you doing? You sound like a sleepy sheepy as of late, Zach.
Your thought.
Me too. Did you actually take out a troll by yourself, my dude? I'm real proud of you, that's for sure. Oh, I forgot I'm an unfortunate sword wielder as of late.
Don't succumb!
That's it. Mowing fiery.
Damn.
I'll let Margaret's fire bless.
Damn, we got out of that pretty unscathed. I couldn't see a lot of what was happening, but we seemed to do a good job. Good.
Yes.
Proud of everybody. Durance. Come on. Oh. I can't say I love these big waves of garbage.
Do you...
Ugh. I might not actually survive this.
What? Mowing Ixiana.
No, we are probably not surviving this.
This thing is.
Alof, you need to not die.
Damn it.
Fucking hell. We just got here. There we go. My bear is somehow still alive. Oh shit. Kind of. I don't use a lot of resources, which is probably part of my problem. So we just got a campfire. Let's rest again to avoid dying, because Edelgard has almost been maimed to death.
Oh?
Yes. Kind of. I think we're more halfway-ish than at the end. I don't know how many chapters there are. Hello. We're about to hit chapter 3, I do believe. I don't know how many chapters there are altogether, but we're definitely over halfway, I would say.
Yes.
You all want to
Hey.
fight
Yep.
the things? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. You need to go over here. And Ella, you need to go over here.
That's it.
Hmm?
We were almost at the end. We finished the first half of the DLC. Add repellers.
Certainly. Yes. Certainly.
I have no way of knowing though, like legit, if what the end is or how close we are to it.
That's it.
Fucking hell. Okay.
Oh?
Alright.
Hmm?
Oh! Zeb is back!
Oh?
Thank you so much for the raid! Let's go up here. Hello, hello! I am good, and how are you? Were you playing more Pillars of Eternity yourself? Ooh, fighting trolls. Oh, I'm fighting a lot of trolls. Oh dear. We're about to get slapped pretty hard, I would guess. Yeah? Where are you in the game, Zeb? Oh, I went around. I didn't trust that pool of blood. So you, like, but I found it later, so I know it, like, takes you super far down.
That's it.
Yeah, I know exactly what you were doing. Yeah. It do be like that. Oh, don't let that happen. That's fair. I face similar struggles. Do you want to do something better than what you're currently doing? Well.
Zawa is ready.
Is already? Goodness gracious. Have a good night, Zeb, and thank you again. It is always a pleasure to see you. I love hearing where you are in the pillars. Seeing where your choices are getting you.
Lava. That's it. That's it. Moe Ixi.
Heloth, why are you taking damage?
Ana.
Oh, Elith, no!
Yes.
Moe.
They both.
Yeah.
Blast.
Finish them!
Oh, you're doing Cat Nua before Defiance Bay. You're so brave and strong. No, it's all bravery.
Oh.
Oh. Oh. Oh good, a cave.
Certainly.
Surely nothing bad will happen in this cave. Just the one?
That's it.
God, imagine only fighting one. Yeah. That is fair. An abomination, eh?
That's it.
That man exploded. And that's okay.
A simple test. That's settled.
The bones have been snapped and crushed by massive teeth. It was just a troll cave. Yeah, it does. I think it probably is the same model. God, the bear cave. It's one of my greatest clips. I have to make a little intro video for myself for affiliate status, and I don't have and I have that clip of going into the bear cave the very first time specifically for that video. Everyone needs to see what happened to me. I have to know what they're getting into.
Fire shows me
Something new. Gonna cross this bridge? Are we just gonna think about it, or? No, we can all
Yes.
walk and get stuff together. A dying monk. I see. The man on the ground gasps for air, clutching his chest as he struggles. On closer examination, you see his red cloak obscures the full extent of his injuries. His face whitens as blood pools around him. Please, traveler. He reaches out arduously, extending his hand to you. What happened? Okay, good night. Forgetful, so careless, he mutters, blood seeping from his lips. Cuts on my knuckles from morning practice. He holds his blood-soaked hand out in front of him. The Stelgers, they smelled the blood on me. Thought they found their next meal. The man reaches down to clutch his left leg, his finger running along a jagged length of bone, protruding from his knee. They were almost correct. The man lets out a long sigh and smiles at you with slow, knowing nod. You are known to us, Watcher. We know you have treated others honestly, fairly. His face becomes pale and lapses into a wide smile. And I have need of someone trustworthy to finish my mission. Tell me of your mission. This must be delivered to my order. The monk weakly grasps for his satchel, drawing from it a messenger's scroll case. Take it, he rasps, waving the missive at you. It needs to be carried to Celestial Sapling. Give this to my brothers. They will reward you. Do not open it, he cries out, his voice cracking. The contents are for my brothers only. If the seal is broken, they will... Blood erupts from this man's mouth, streams of red oozing down his neck. His head slumps backwards, and his body goes still. I could open it. The scroll case is crafted of darkly stained oak in the likeness of a thin tower. Along its length, 5 wax seals adorn the case, each with its own symbol: a small flame, an open palm, a crescent moon, a shining sun, and a balanced scale. The seals would more than likely break if you were to try and open the case. I'm not gonna open it, but if these monks are up to some shady shit, I will just kill them. I will put this in my backpack for now. Can I have your stuff? Hell yeah.
Yes.
Thanks for the money. Oh, we cannot walk across this little river thing? A deer. Oh, I really wish my tank wasn't all the way in the back.
Let us stand this.
Moe ik.
Yes. Yes. Hmm.
Are you maimed yet? Nah, you're fine. Oh boy.
Anyone suspected of treachery must be reported at once.
Yes?
Good, you have come. You have heard of the recent defections from our order caused by this apostate in Praetum.
A pale image of Theos beckons you with the curl of translucent fingers. An answer floats to the surface of your consciousness, remembered from ages ago. Yes, I have.
This is a dangerous woman whose lies spread like plague. She inspires chaos, sows conflict. Because of these unusual circumstances, I am speaking to all our initiates personally. to ensure there is no more dissension.
You mean because she was one of us?
Who she was no longer matters. If her following continues to grow, there will be war, and all our work will be undone. You were recruited from Kratom, were you not? You must have known this heretic woman, Yavara.
At hearing the name, a flood of memories pours into your mind. Oh, I can decide my past. Sister? Friends? Lover? Teacher? I was in love with her.
I see. And did she return the sentiment?
Absolutely.
I trust that you will snuff out this flame if it still burns. The gods do not take pity on traitors. I am trusting you to remain loyal to the gods in this. If you do not, you will have greater powers than me to answer to. But you will answer to me as well.
Hand holding. I understand, Your Eminence.
Hmm?
Tentacles and hand holding on my stream. It is more likely than you think. Oh! Oh, thank you, Devil! That's very sweet.
Estramore.
What did you call me? The warrior saunters over, a sneer of suspicion visible beneath streaks of paint. He glances at your gear before favoring you with a long look. Another fugitive from the burning city. The 6 tribes of Erglanaf welcome you to Twin Elms. Before you lies the Hearthsong district. You are free to explore it, but do not let your feet stray into the other districts. They are forbidden to Estramorn. What can you tell me about the Twin Elms? The city is sacred to all Glythanians, as it is the place where our ancestors first encountered the Builders. That fated meeting turned our people from generations of wandering to a permanent home among the Builders' relics. When the Builders commanded us to settle here, they allowed us the unique privilege to live among their structures here. It is the only place in Ergon where this is permitted. The sacred city is divided into 4 districts: Hearthsong, the Commoners District; Old Song, the site of our temples; Elmsreach, home of the Delgrad and Druids; and the Burial Isle, which is the most sacred place in the city. I'd like to hear about Hearthsong. This is Hearthsong. It's a place where Galthathians and Estramorn may gather together. It is also the site of the Passage of the Six, where our tribal leaders, the Anamathatha, meet. He points to a large round building at the other end of the district. That way is to the market. Guard your purse there. No one bargains like Galthathian. And if you need a place to stay, the fellow at the fence to the east. There you will find your way to the Celestial Sapling. Which temples lie in Old Song? There is Noonfrost, which is dedicated to Rhymer God. A group of pale elves from the frozen Southlands arrived not long ago to oversee it. There is also the Nest, temple to Hylia, and Galwanian's Maw, a den of beasts dedicated to the Hunter God. The route to the Burial Isle also lies that way. And tell me about Elms Reach? There lies Ter Evan, one of the only towers of the builders still in perfect condition. The 2 great elm trees twine around it. Even the mightiest works of the gods protect the works of the builders. 2 Delgelman sisters dwell there now. The Hall of the Warriors stands at the other end of the district. Rumor has it that Amphanath, the Simic of the 3-tusked Stelgar, is there now. Elms Reach is also where the Druids keep to their halls. They are of the Ovats, of the Golden Grove, and the Ethnic Knoll of Bloodsands. Many shudder at the burial sacrifices of Ethnic Knoll, but High Ovat Arona is just as powerful in her own way. Do you know anything about the Burial Isle? It is the place where our Anafatha are laid to rest among stones placed by the builders. They say that the souls of some of the Anafatha still linger there. The way lies through Old Song. It is the holiest place in all of Twin Elms. That's all I wanted to know about the city. Why is it forbidden to enter the remaining districts of the Twin Elms? Twin Elms is a sacred city, built where the first keepers of the stone met the builders. It exists alongside the works of the builders, and it is the only place in all of Ergonoth where it is permitted to set foot among all those sacred places. The Estermorn, however, do not have proper respect for the stones here. His words trigger something in your memory. You see an image of a perfect cube of Adra. Just as quickly, the image fades. A leader of one of the tribes could give you permission of the city. Only Amathwath Bethwell is present at the passage of the sixth day, and she has her own troubles. He jerks his head along to the hut in the middle of the district. I haven't heard of the Keepers of Stone. They are the oldest of the 6 tribes. He points the tip of his sword at a long hut behind him. Up the stairs into the passage of the 6. That is where our Anamathatha gather. Bethwell, the Anamathath of the guided compass, can tell you more. And who are the builders? You know them as the Ingwethians. To us they are the builders, creators of the sacred places that we guard to this day. Best that you keep your visit brief. Word has reached our ears that the riots have ended and the gates of Defiance Bay have opened once more.
Yes.
Fuck yeah. I have something really important to do in Defiance Bay. Let's see. I could leave immediately and go finish my last quest in Defiance Bay. It didn't stay closed for very long. You could jump right out of Defiance Bay and into the Twin Elms. And like no time at all could have passed.
The Glenfathans. Such beautiful cities they have woven with nature.
I was like, I want an animal companion. I have an animal companion. It's that giant bear beside me. Oh, this is stealing. I won't steal. Not yet, anyway. No, he's my bear. His name is Teddy. And he's so brave and strong. He's the bravest bear there ever was. He's not small. Oh, we haven't had one of these in a hot minute. You see a child, a heavy chain running from her wrist to the wall, scrubbing at a kitchen tile with deliberate slowness. The stain is dark and heavy, but she scrubs for hours, failing to notice the passage of time, failing to greet the moon as it rises. Her small face is hard and dry as she scrubs. When she is done, the kitchen is raw and fresh, ready for a new day. But she is not done yet. Trembling, she approaches the body in the corner. The whites of her eyes grow ever larger as she reaches into a pocket, grasping for freedom, and finding it in the form of a key. She does not notice the blood smeared on her blouse, or the stares from the townspeople as she runs towards the shoreline and to the docks in the distance.
Oh?
Oh, 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 oh.
Many blessings, traveler.
You have the look of a hunter, Estromar. Derwin's weapons may protect the woman who seeks out misfortune, but my supplies will help you to survive out in the wilds. Give me stuff. I think I only need like 2 of those. A spider figurine? What does it do? I just like having things, I think. I don't want that anymore. Thank you.
Builder's wisdom to you.
Kane-sana? An old elven woman clothed in thick robes beckons you to approach. Welcome, foreigner, welcome. Her forearms spotted by green and blue stains wiggle out of her hanging sleeves like caterpillars of ripe fruit. I've got what you seek. Always, come see. Between bows and smiles, she points to a little girl beside the herbalist store. We're here to help you, foreigner. Yes, we are. The Fisher Crane tribe serve your people. Unguents, potions, tinctures. She makes a sprawling gesture at the collection of pots, bottles, and herbs that lie behind her. If you seek it, I have it. Always. Of course, foreigner, of course. Hello. I don't know what that is, but I want it. Diamonds? I'll take diamonds.
Estremore?
Yes, yes. So what they need to stop doing is stop giving... This is one of my gripes with the voice acting in this game, is that is the voice of the main villain of the game, who is constantly random other characters. But the main villain can inhabit other people's bodies, and it throws me off all the time. He needed to not have random voice lines in this game of just regular people. Some food for your travels. I hold here many delicious cheeses and fresh fruit. Yeah. My life is simple and makes a port tale. I tend the gardens and my herd, and my family picks the delicious fruit you see behind me. The gods have been kind. Cocoa. Hell yeah. I've not seen a lot of this food before, and it's all so cheap. Yeah, give me it. Give me all that food. Sugar. Grain. Vegetable.
Many blessings, traveler.
This thick-framed woman smiles broadly as you approach. Ah, I see that you have heard it. A good blade has a voice, and it sings to its wielder. What weapon called you forward? Tell me about your craft. My weapons speak for themselves, and every man and woman in this market knows my worth. Even that Tamara. I bear the knowledge my father had and his mother before him. Yes, it does. Take up one of my blades, and you hold a weapon of 5 generations in the making. Durin snorts. That say I should not waste such fine weapons on Estrorum. I say a good weapon lying on the rack is the true waste. Yeah, so what happens is, Durin is actually a good example. So characters have endurance, and they'll lose endurance before they lose health. So everyone else's picture is colored, but Durance only has a little bit of a portrait left because his endurance has been so damaged. So he only has 47 out of 180 endurance. So when they run out of endurance, they collapse. But they're also slowly losing health. If a character fully loses health in battle, they're considered maim, and they will come back with like no endurance and 1 health. If they die again in that state after being maimed, they are gone forever.
You can trust me.
Yeah, Durance?
Many blessings, traveler.
This tall woman is clad in furred hide. She settles a sharp, dark-eyed gaze on you. I hold here at the best hides in Anglonef. Hides so thick the Stelgar cannot claw through. Boots so supple that they will smother the sound of your steps. Then here, look upon the bounty our hunters have provided us. Exceptional hide armor. I will take one of those. Thank you. I bet I have this. You know what? It's fun. As you near, you feel a vibrant history contained in the essence of this man's soul. You see an Orland man crouching over a half-drawn map, intently shading line by careful line. The notes he works from smell of salt and sea, water-smudged scribbles brazing a mess of illustrations and measurements. He finishes each stroke with precision before moving to the next, slow and deliberate. Nothing out of place. A bell tolls lightly in the distance, and he pauses. Replacing the quill with a dagger, he slides into his belt. Opening the door to his shop, he assumes a smile and engages his customer, an older dwarf with a gray-stained beard. The dwarf inquires about a few items, trying on a few pieces of armor, a pair of bracers, but nothing seems to garner his interest. With a harumph, the dwarf leaves. A little too hurried, a little too nervous. The shopkeeper grunts, taking a crossbow down from the wall and locking the door behind him. Beneath the tolling bell, the impact of the crossbow bolt barely makes a sound as it stops the thief in his tracks. The shopkeep strolls over to the wailing man, unconcerned as he rifles through his pockets. A potion there, a pouch of silver coins, several scrolls. He had done well, just not well enough.
Oh?
Oh, I think I read this one, yeah. But I didn't read that one. Yeah, so many words. Thank you for the sippy. You see a band of elves tread warily through the undergrowth, hands tight on weapons, eyes locked on the forest floor. They move silently, fluidly, a team practiced in the art of the hunt. A distant thud sends birds panicking into the sky, and the group changes course, towards the source of the sound. In the lead, a tightly strung bowman scouts. So alert, he trembles, vaulting over an exposed root. He holds a hand in the air, and the group pauses, taking cover behind the time-gnarled trunks. There's a moment of stillness before the forest itself rises up to greet them. The creature is enormous, twice the size of any elf, and its endless-seeming arms of vine snap towards its assailants, snatching at ankles, arms, legs. One elf goes down and is thrown into one of the trees with a rending crack. Another slips, jumping to avoid the snake-like vines, and before he can react, a vine is around his waist. The air is blurred with arrows as the lead bowman lets loose, giving his companions time to recover. An unearthly howl sounds, taking as a rapier slices through one of the creature's arms, incapacitating it momentarily. Taking his chance, the bowman switches arrows, lighting the wet shafts with a slick blue fire. The monstrous mass of vines screeches as the flames take their toll, lashing out at any and all who come near. 2 elves lie unconscious on the ground, another dead, an enormous dent in his skull. The creature falls, finally, but there are no cheers, no celebration. The group is somber as they collect their dead and wounded. So, for those that might not know, and I bet there are a few, the little stories of the random, they're not technically NPCs, but there's like stories that you can look into people's souls and read. Those are all from the backers that helped make this game possible. So they're not important to the story in any way, but I do enjoy reading them because the backers got to write their own little stories about like their OCs and whatnot, and I think it's really cute and definitely worth reading. Yeah, it was a real cute thing. Also, all the backers, if you ever are at a graveyard or anything, a whole bunch of their names are there. You can read the plaques, which is also neat. And those are also backers. Oh, I want to loot so bad. Is there anyone
Not
here
a
telling me
sound.
I can't loot? The dried herbs crunch between your fingers, giving off a sweet floral aroma. Oh. The guard places his spear between you and the path that leads beyond the gates. Still, Estremor, the rest of the city is forbidden except by order of one of the Anima Fatha. Trespassing into an Elms is punishable by death. Nice spear compensating for something. Let's not be rude. How do I get permission from one of the Anima Fatha? He grudgingly points to a long hut in the middle of the district. You can always find one of the Anima Fatha in the Passage of the Six. Perhaps Anima Fatha Bethwell will listen, if she can tolerate your barbaric language. Ah, yes. Seeds and husks have been scattered across the floor.
Builder's wisdom to you.
Welcome to my home, Estremar. I am Lindsay, a healer and guide. What brings you here? Tell me about yourself, Lindsay. The locals have called me a wise woman, a term of respect, I'm sure, but it makes me feel my years. I'm a herbalist and healer. I spend most of my time caring for the ill, helping with the delivery of children, and making remedies for those in pain. I like your songbird. Does it have a name? Well, he does. She blushes, but I ought not to have let my friend's daughter name him. The name is long and rather silly. The short version is Beaker. She rolls her eyes and smiles. The next bird I have will be named after an Anemathoth. Well, you'll be important later. I also do not see this bird that we are talking of. Where is there a songbird? Am I crazy? That's my dragon. The edge of the shelf is daubed with bird lime. No, that was my dragon. Maybe the bird's outside? It's a mystery. Anyway, animals with long names are the best. My rabbit his name is Jareth the Bunny King. Oh, and gosh, I was talking to Laura, who knows somebody's cat whose name is Thanks for Eating at Chili's. I don't know. It's something like that. It's something about Chili's. Do not try my patience, Estremor. You shall not pass without the permission of the Anemathoth. Okay. We could assault every guard we come across. I'm just looking, man. We don't gotta get all uppity. Don't steal. Not yet. I'm not trying to go anywhere. I'm just wandering. I see. What is this? It's just like a stormy
Yes.
cloud. Oh, okay. The water is cool and crisp. The Glothethians don't take jests well, and it's dangerous to offend them. Oh. It's so weird that there's so much, even though it's outside, you can't take anything without. You can't even look in a barrel without it being stealing. You see a problem, I throw it over the side. You see a man, his eyes hidden behind horn-like growths, his face broken in despair. His frenetic pacing distracts another man, who curses and begins his chant again. The body of a woman lies on the table below, all slack, white-skinned, and punctured chest and rounded belly. Life left her body days ago, but the man chances over her husk, spell after oddly rolling spell, until sweat burns through his lashes and onto his chin. For a moment her eggshell eyes open, cold and void. The pacing ceases. Her body falls back on the table with a crack, unmoving, and the broken man weeps tears of black from his misshapen face. The man leaves. Time passes. The body screams until morning. Jesus. You see a woman of fire twisting and dancing through a horde of skeletal enemies. Arrows stream through the air, but with a twist of her wrist she sends a sheet of fire careening over the offending archers, incinerating all in its path. She screams, concentration lost, as a pike pierces her leg and forces her to the ground. As the skeletons advance, she begins to burn brighter, hotter, chanting something between gritted teeth. She flickers out for a moment, the fire contracting, and then waves of white fire explode from her, destroying everything in their path. The only thing left is the sound of her panting and a pained grunt as she twists the pike from her leg and plants it on the ground to support herself as she gets up. She turns to leave, limping slowly towards the door, but something stops her. A guttural, inhuman whisper leaves its way through the air as a final figure rises into the air before her, claiming her, beckoning. Against her will she is drawn forward, nose filled with the reek of death and dust. Her face is glazed, unresponsive. She falls at the creature's feet, and something in her comes awake. Eyes burning, she stands once more and stretches out a hand, stroking the skeleton's ivory cheek, turning bone to cinder and ash. She stands there long after it's gone, ashes blowing in some spectral breeze. Something had laid claim to her, and this was not the end of it.
How do you do?
A middle-aged elven man stands behind the counter of the inn. He has a warm, open face and smiles pleasantly in greeting as you approach. Welcome, welcome. I'm always glad to see a new face. Take a seat where you like, my friend. It seems to me we've walked a long road. All are welcome here, and those with interesting stories most welcome of all. Who are you? My name is Elithorian. They call me Haggard Shoes for all the walking I used to do, and all the boots I wore down. But those days are well behind me. My eyes have seen a great deal, and now my ears get their fill from the travelers who come through here. I'm always, Tell me about this place. Of course! Elithorian's face brightens. I founded the inn many years ago, but in many ways its tale begins much earlier. It was while I was returning from a long journey south that I first heard the story of the tree upon which the inn rests. Hundreds of years ago, a strange event occurred. The sky was troubled at night, with many stars falling across the sky, and one of those same stars began to plummet instead towards Aora. It fell here, striking a young tree and burying itself within it like a fiery heart. But the tree survived, and over the years it grew and grew and grew, twice as big as its fellows in half the time, until it reached the size you see now, and grew no more. Hearing the tale, I knew I must find the truth. And you see it there. He gestures towards the large stone in the center of the room. Around the tree's heart, I built this inn, to welcome all travelers who might look upon it. I see. Oh, I see. This unusual stone pulses with warmth.
Good day to you.
Aren't the monks here? Yes.
Welcome.
A slender woman in dusty leathers locks eyes with you. It's good to see someone from more civilized lands around here. Her unkept hair sprouts in wavy black tufts. Despite the fine features that sculpt her face, a cleft chin complements her boyish appearance. In learning firsthand the many shortcomings of Glathethian hospitality, her gloved hands come to rest on the pommel of a long estoc cinched low on her hip. I can almost forgive the hostility towards outsiders, but the temperate taverns and these watered-down drinks, inexcusable. I hope I don't seem too forward, but I need to help my friends, and you look like the right person for the job. A sly smile carves a dimple on her cheek, which is to say you're not Glathethian, making you the closest thing I've got to an ally in this paranoid land. She gives you a coquettish glance. And allies, well, they help each other, do they not? What help do you need? My friends have drawn some unwanted attention. Swyneth looks to both sides, scanning for uninvited listeners. Glathethian scouts, and not just any mob of local zealots. The Fangs! She pauses to let the name settle in the air. The Fangs are a brutal, relentless bunch, eager to make example of troublesome outsiders. As for why I need your help, her smile widens as she speaks. I need someone to warn the expedition that trouble is coming, and I need someone ready to fight if it comes to that. She taps her hand on the pommel of her estoc. With any luck, we'll reach my friends before the Fangs do. But if not, the Fangs have a reputation to uphold, so this might require the spilling of blood. Why aren't you with the rest of your friends? Why not warn them yourself? Her posture stiffens at the question. It was my turn to handle far patrol. I spotted the Fangs on my trek back to camp. I knew that rejoining the main group would risk leading the enemy right back to the expedition. I know the woods and I know how to stay quiet, but I didn't want to stake my friends' lives on my ability to sneak past expert hunters like the Fangs. If they noticed me warning my friends, we'd have been overrun. Swyneth tilts her head to the side and points to you with a grin. But if they notice me, and some reinforcements, like, say, you, well, at least we can scare them off or put up a good fight. What did your friends do to draw the attention of the Fangs? Just setting foot in Ergonath is a good way to offend the tribes. I don't know how they picked up our trail. I suspect one of the newer scouts didn't cover his tracks well enough. When I spotted the Fangs, they were retracing a path to the expedition had taken days before. I will help you warn the expedition. Swyneth smiles with an overt display of dimples. Excellent! I knew I could count on you. She leans in and whispers, assuming the Fangs didn't already get them. My friend should now be around the Pilgrim's Trail in Northern Weld. The plan was to camp along the trail leading to the Temple of Hyleia. Find my comrades, warn them the Fangs are coming, and help them clear out the forest. I'll head out first on my own to see if I can't lead the Fangs astray and buy us some time. She pulls her estoc out a few inches out of her scabbard and cracks a smile. If the gods smile on us, we won't have to draw steel. Should it come to that, I'm glad you're on our side.
Yes.
You guys have stories. No? You see a young red-headed boy, almost but not quite a man, stalking the steps of a panther, an ugly curved dagger in his hand. The panther treads lightly, jumping from rock to rock, unconcerned by the danger behind him. He bounds up a tree and turns his green-slit eyes on the child, and you could swear that he would be laughing if he could. A flash of black fur and the panther is gone, and the boy's thoughts littered with curses and self-doubt. The boy moves on, walking for days, hunting for something he never seems to find. He sleeps only in fits, a few hours at a time before he continues, exhausted and starving. Another day passes, and he kills a rabbit, its huge brown eyes almost entranced as the boy slits its throat from ear to ear and begins to eat it raw. He winces as the tough meat goes down, coagulated blood running down his chin. Covered in drying blood and fatigue, he falls asleep beneath the nearby outcropping of a rock, determined to continue the hunt when he awakes. He does not have to wait long. A snuffling in the undergrowth nearby, and his eyes are instantly open, a small hand on his blade. The great black bear sizes him up, almost triple his size, and goes back to foraging. The boy grasps his daggers, knuckles white, and breath in short, nervous gasps. It takes almost a full day before it is done, and he collapses, arm dangling limply from his side. He calls hoarsely, voice feeble. 3 men come out from behind the outcropping, swollen with pride. No longer a boy, the young man begins to skin the bear with their help.
Oh?
Oh, indeed. Oh, there's the monks.
Hello!
The monk massages his temple, his face buried in his palm. As you approach, he looks up. This room needs a proper door, he mutters. My brothers and I rented this space so that we may have some measure of privacy in this foreign land. Perhaps you could find another room here in the inn? Who are you? Zahar whispers to you. The tattoo on his hand, the broken dagger. These are the brothers of the vengeful slain. They drew strength from any wrong done to them. They are known to take offense to nearly everything. He pauses before adding, most of the Great Order thinks they are pricks. Briefly opening his mouth to answer, the monk swallows his words. He looks you up and down, carefully choosing his response. My brothers and I were having a private discussion in a room we rented for our use. Please, there is a tavern full of people who would provide you with the banter that you seek. What brings your order to this place? We travel where the teachings take us, the monk mutters, his voice slow and measured. Not that it's any of your business. I met another monk in robes like your own. He died of his wounds right as I found him. The monk's eyes widen, his fists curl into a crackling barrage of popping joints. Robes like ours, you say? Was he carrying anything? Did he tell you anything? Hand you anything? Please, we've been waiting for another of our order to meet us here, and if you found him... All eyes fall to the floor as the monks begin to whisper chants in unison to their fallen friend. He gave me this missive. Hand me that, the monk explains as he snatches the missive from your grasp. Almost immediately his face turns red. I mean, please, this is of great importance. Breaking the seals, the monk unrolls the handwritten scroll contained within and quickly reads the message, his lips breathlessly mouthing the text. He turns to address his brothers. My brethren, the Archmartyr has sent word. At long last, we now have what we need. Thank you, stranger, the monk says, folding his hands in front of him as he bows deeply. Your honest soul is to be applauded. I admit I was surprised when you handed me the message. I expected the seals to be broken. The monk turns red, his face smiling for the first time. I am glad to see common decency that is not yet lost in this world. He reaches into the folds of his robes. Here, your honesty must be rewarded. I sure hope that doesn't have consequences later. Well, I'm sure nothing bad will come of any of that. And then I did the right thing, and nothing... And that's it. I was an honest soul. Okay. Okay. So I actually do need to go back to Defiance Bay very quickly, and I also need to swap out my party. Because there are people that need to be here in this city that are not here. And I will put Aloth and Adir away temporarily. Just to get the other two. Well, no, Aloth's important too. Ugh. Beans. Alright. There's just no way that that little Orlin is not important to this quest line. Maybe I'll put the monk away. Where am I going? It's been so long. Meet Chancellor Warren in the Charred Barrel in Blackenberry. Okay. I think that's actually right here. Bada bing, bada boom. We also have to go to Lady Webb's house and, finish what we started, and that is doing a lot of looting. I did not do it when I had the chance. And it's been plaguing me every day. Hello, Tyrell! Lady Kasagi, what brings you to Blackenberry? You sent a missive. No, I didn't. I received a missive. From you. The Chancellor sets down his mug of ale and looks at you quizzically. As far as I know, nothing has changed regarding your rightful position at Cadnoa. You realize that your charred barrel has gone quiet, and turn to see the last of the patrons quickly disappearing from the front door. A moment later, a group of armed men and women stride inside the tavern. Oh dear. The Chancellor quickly ducks behind the table. The woman leading the armed group lowers her cowl with one hand, while keeping the other on a pistol tucked into her belt. You immediately recognize Gathbin's captain. Now that the sheep have been herded from their pen, you and I can conduct business, unfortunate as it may be. I remember you. You were with Lord Gathbin at the palace. And I you, she grins. The whole essence of a god thing tends to be easily remembered. I must say, you wear it well. What do you want? Oh, I think you know. Lord Gathbin has ordered your death. She forces a frown. A shame, really. I admire your exploits, even if only half of them are true. Sadly, I have my orders. Gathbin will lose, and you should work for me. The man is swine, albeit noble, wealthy swine. Her lips curl in feigned disgust. Were I to do it again, I doubt if I would have taken in with him. But what's done is done, and Lord Gathbin is ruthless as he is arrogant. He'll go to great lengths to avenge a betrayal. What could you offer me to make me consider such a risk? Yeah, some of the quests are really, really good. I like the White Marsh a lot. A better life working for an honorable lady. I don't think that's gonna do it. And I don't think a bribe is going to do it. I actually don't think any of these are going to do it. I only have one deceit point, but I think that'll play against me. A better life, working for an honorable lady. I've heard such stories about you. They can't all be true, can they? She's silent a moment. Tales of your charity, your kindness. But I also see strength in you. But is that enough to best Lord Gathbin? The gamble is too rich for my blood. Still, I think I can tell Gathbin that you didn't take the bait and never showed up here. No need for anyone to die today, eh? She looks at her troops and they nod in agreement. Know this. The day will soon come when you must face Gathbin. I've lived this long by knowing which side to be on. Prove yourself on the battlefield and who knows. Until we meet again, Kasasagi. Well, that was unexpected. Warwin emerges from beneath his table and smooths the rumpled sleeves of his robe. It does make the strange report I received from the grass make more sense in context. However, what haven't you told me? Errol Bedamar decided to keep an eye on Lord Gathbin's activities. Gathbin has been hiring a lot of men recently, but for what purpose we can't say. I'd advise you take extra precautions at Cat Well, he may be attempting to place spies or saboteurs within your walls. I don't use him a lot at all, actually. I'm about to put him into my party. Be wary, Kasasagi. I don't think you've seen Lord Gathbin's endgame yet. He swallows the rest of his ale and gives you a curt nod before heading towards the door.
Oh?
Yes, oh indeed.
Oh? Certainly.
When are you guys going to be back? 13 hours. Excellent. I found her to be quite squishy, but I just didn't know if I was using her correctly. I like the monk is pretty good. Barbarian's alright. Oh, you're still here. Do you mind? Do you mind if I just steal?
Keeping an eye out.
A whole egg. Lady Webb would have wanted it this way. Hello, Yak. I'm sorry.
Your thoughts must flow deeply indeed. Yes.
I will take a sippy. I guess I did a better job looting this house than I originally thought. She's definitely strong, but I found her to be quite squishy. So you'll get another melee character in the DLC too. You get 3. So I guess we're done here. Run to Cat Noir really quickly. And swap out my NPCs.
Better indeed.
Oh, yeah. Things are starting to look really nice, and I do want to take a peek. Oh. Look at this! We have a church. May the gods guide and protect all who seek their blessing.
Greetings.
Greetings, my lady. I thank you for restoring our chapel to its former glory. I am certain the gods will look favorably upon you. I have gathered what scrolls I could find. Perhaps they could be of use for you in your travels. Well, I don't really use scrolls, but I appreciate it. Oh yeah, I had something like that happen too. They destroyed a whole bunch of my walls, and I'm like, ugh, please. Well, while I'm running around. Oh, it looks so nice. I'm so pleased to see it all, like... Oh, I am playing Pillars of Eternity. Is this all fixed up? Yeah. You know, actually, our mutual friend, Allie, bought me this game quite some time ago. And so she peeks in here sometimes and harasses me.
Hail and well met.
Good tidings, my lady. Might I interest you in anything? I offer supplies for the road, but I'm sure you'll find many things that are of use for a hardy traveler such as yourself. These are all very expensive. And I have so much gear. What else is there? I haven't been here in so long.
Better indeed.
Yes, Alice, I know. You're very impressed. I just want to look at all my cute little upgrades.
Hail and well met.
Oh, let me see. Oh, traps. I see. I don't use those either. From the Warden Lodge? I don't think so.
The stones and the spirits in this place have begun to heal.
Oh no, I haven't gotten it yet. I will though.
Gods keep you.
Oh. It's all manner of gook. How very neat. I need to talk to my chair and then we can leave.
Yes.
So that's everything, right? I have looked and I have been amazed by all that exists. Okay. Ah, fuck. I wouldn't pay, so they set my crops on fire. When my boy tried to stop 'em, they knocked him over the head. He's alive, but he can't think straight no more. Your boy got lucky. My guards, good men both, got put to the sword after they surrendered. I paid those thugs what they wanted, but they still took everything I had. Ooh, a bot. There she is. A woman points at you, and all eyes in the crowd turn their hostile gazes upon you. Can I help you people with something? We don't need your help. We just want you to leave us alone. We want justice. Go on. You sent your men to my farm to collect a crop tax, saying we was overdue. For me, it was a road toll. I've been traveling up and down this way for years, and this was the first I'd heard of such a thing. Other people in the crowd chime in with similar stories. Those weren't my men. Then who were they? They weren't no common bandits. If this thing happens again, it's not on my orders. You heard it directly from me. Say we believe you. What about what we've lost? What about my crops? And my goods? And the families of my guards? I'll make those men face justice. You can count on it. We appreciate that, but can you offer us compensation? Just a little to help us get by, of course. He clears his throat and looks at you expectantly. Alright, I'll just give them $1,000 because I'm loaded. But if they're lying to me, I will naturally kill them all. Most generous of you, my lady. The villagers nod and smile at you, uttering thanks as they distribute the coins between them. Oh, hell yeah. 3 prestige. Ah, angry mobs. Their inevitable thorn in every ruler's side, eh, Kasasagi? What brings you to Cad Noir? I've heard news about Lord Gathbin. Let's discuss it in the Great Hall, away from curious ears. There's so much going on in my house. I just wanted to swap out party members. That's all I wanted. Lady Kasasagi. I have received word that Lord Gathbin is amassing an army of mercenaries near Yenwood Field. It appears a peaceful claim to Cad Noir is no longer possible. The Earl has sent me to aid you in forming your own force to counter this threat. I'm here as an adversary role, or advisory, not an adversary, an advisory role only. Of course, the Earl won't officially take sides in this dispute. Let's talk about my army. The Marshal nods. Where am I getting my troops? I've sent a call for volunteers from the lands around Cad Noir. Hopefully people will realize that being under your rule is preferable to that of Lord Gathban's. Any hireling stationed at Cad Noir will also accompany you into the battle, so I suggest you acquire as many as possible. I have received a missive from the Knights of the Crucible. They've heard about the situation and will send a squad of their finest knights when the time for battle comes. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, I do treat a deer as a tank. Believe it or not, but your friends in the Flames That Whisper clan have heard your trouble with Lord Gathbin. Matron Berrigan said something about a vision. In any case, a message from Stalwart said that Berrigan is sending some of her clan to your aid. The trolls are coming? Being at peace with them was, like, optional. I will remind you. I'm so curious now. What's the status of my regular troops? The Marshal shakes his head. Too green and too few. If you go up against Lord Gathbin now, losses will be heavy. However, victory is still possible. We need to recruit veteran troops. I know a company or two of veterans that are willing to join us for a bit of coin. I'd say 10,000 copper should cover those expenses. Well, there you go. It will be done. What special allies do I have available? The Knights of the Crucible will reinforce your infantry. Several crag ogres from the Flames That Whispers will join your infantry. Why won't the Earl officially legitimize my claim? It's a delicate situation. Legally, Lord Gathban's claim is just, and he knows it. Stripping land and title from a noble family is quite dangerous, perhaps more so than killing the man outright. With Gathban dead, the Earl need only worry about blood vengeance, from family members that actually cared for Lord Gathban. Those, if court gossip is believed, are few and far between. Losing a family claim to land and title, though, such disputes incite hatred from the entire clan and their political allies, not to mention the unease it causes amongst the other nobles. Wars are started for less. No, if Gathban is to be denied, it will be you who must prove your legitimacy to the Earl and all others who would dispute your claims. That is what it means to be a noble in the Direwood. How much time do I have? Enough. It's rumored that Lord Gathban will suffer a series of unfortunate and completely unforeseeable setbacks before his army is complete. He grins and winks. Still, I tarry not long. I have a fortress with strong walls. Why not let Gathban's army come to me? Lord Gathban isn't a fool enough to risk tearing down Cadnua just to kill you, and if you shield yourself behind these walls, he'll have free rein to torment your subjects in the countryside. Errol Badamar will see your inaction against Lord Gathban as a sign that you are unwilling to perform your duties as Lord of Cadnua. Losing his support will have dire consequences. Taking the fight to Lord Gathban is your only option. Okay. Well, we'll
Yes.
deal with that eventually. Because I know I don't have to deal with it now. I have trolls, I have the Crucible Knights, and I imagine there's one other faction. I remember reading that. I don't know where they are. Or what they do. But I imagine it has something to do with the Twin
Better
Elms.
indeed.
Yes, I know. Very impressive. Let's see. Who are we putting on the bench? I wish I could be on the bench. You gotta
See you
go.
when I see you.
Yeah, I guess so. You need to come, and I know you need to come. I want to set you aside for
Very
right
well.
now. A wanted criminal by the name of Nairai the Deft Hand has arrived at the stronghold seeking aid. Oh man, I just got to. I just left my stronghold. Alright. That is so obnoxious. Yeah, it gets a little samey, but I like hearing the different variations. I wish there was.
Looks a little healthier than before.
I wish there was a better way to deal with things that are happening at my keep. Oh, I've got training grounds now. That's neato. Or samey wasn't the right word. Repetitive was the better word. No. It's you. Name's Nairi. Begging your pardon and all, my lady, but I was hoping we could talk. Very well. Let's hear it. You call your allies together and motion for the petitioner to step forward. So, might be I got myself nicked here and there for a few unsavory deeds. My name's on posters all over Defiance Bay now. Makes it harder to walk around freely if you get me. My thinking is it's time for me to seek out new horizons. Deadfire, Appreciado seems nice, but I'm out of everyone's hair. Only I could use some help getting there. Now, not that I'm asking you to do this for free, Minded. I picked up a couple things from here. A fellow I know. Not much good to me if I get caught. I don't know why I would help this man escape. You should turn yourself in. You can't be serious, they'll hang me. I can use the Knights of the Crucible, but I would also be lying. I could just lie a lot. I will see that they give you a lenient sentence. It's better than living as an outlaw. Yeah, alright. It's been hard trying to find a burrow to hide in. Might be best just to start clean over. Thanks for giving me an honest chance at it, I guess. Right. Now what? Oh, okay. It's just telling me that he left.
Oh?
Oh, indeed. Look at how not deceptive I am.
Certainly.
I am a good bean. And I only told that lie that one time. Just the one. I'm glad looting doesn't go on your permanent record. That would be terrible. I have done a lot of looting. And a lot of accidental murder. Yep. Now we can continue. Goodness gracious. I have to find the main building, which I continued to walk around, it seems like. Oh, yeah, it was right there. Ah. You see, not too much. You see a small murder of crows gathered on a dirt path that cuts through some dry farmland. They follow this Orland, who is slowly making his way down the path. They sometimes hop, sometimes fly, gliding after him, but always staying behind. Occasionally one will alight briefly on his shoulder, only to quickly take to wing again to rejoin its kin. As he nears the small village, a crow lands on his shoulder and begins cawing excitedly. The Orland smiles and nods as if agreeing. He takes a small crumb of bread from his pocket of his cloak and gives it to a crow, who grabs it in its beak and flies a small distance away to eat its prize in peace. Small children, drawn by the noise made by the crow, rush out to see who the approaching stranger could be. When he has sufficient audience, the Orland lifts both arms out at his side, as if he have been trained. The crows flock to him, landing on his hands and arms. They rock, cawing almost in unison, as he stands there quietly humming a lively tune. He looks at the children and begins to tell them strange facts. He tells them of how the different caws a crow can make and what they mean. He tells them of the pecking order of crow kings and queens long past, and times of their reigns. He does this for some time, all the while his arms bearing the weight of half a dozen crows. At length, his arms seem to tire, and he drops them again, and the crows take flight, spiraling up over his head and then glide off in all directions, a black feathery tornado dissipating in the fading daylight. The children's delighted screams echo down the road as they run back towards the town. The Orland stands alone on the wood, watching the crows disappear into the distance. Oh man, there's a bunch of crows by my house. Um, and they like to caw super early in the morning, but that's fine. I want to be their friend so very badly, and I'm trying really hard to gain their trust and defeat them so that they like just.
I don't know if I should go through with this.
Oh,
Make the trade deal with the Anamain Fath.
I just want them to hang out at my house and be my friends for life. That's my dream. Pelgina holds out her arms before you enter the hall. Wait, I don't know if I should go through with this. Make the trade deal with the Amethath.
If a Valiant deal with the Glanfathens weakens the Deerwood, it could mean war for the Republics in the future.
Oh god. What other option do you have?
I could put the idea in the Anamanfath's head that the Republics are not interested in exclusive trade, but limited trade of goods that they do not already trade with the Deerwoodens.
It is the right thing to do. The Direwoodians are at the mercy of the Republics, and they don't even know it. Your actions today can prevent further suffering. She nods her head resolutely.
Another Estramore. What do you want?
Oh, it's Lady Webb's voice. I'm taking sippies. Thank you. A middle-aged Orlan woman stands at the back of the longhouse, an expression of irritation on her narrow features. As you approach, she takes a decisive step towards you. Another Estromere. What do you want? I am looking for another who passed through the city.
Few Estramoran are given the freedom of our sacred city. That you ask for this person is suspicious. There are reasons we don't let you Estramoran roam our sacred city. Reasons I am coming to understand.
Has something happened recently? More than I care to think about.
Looters have grown bolder at the sites of the builders. The people of Defiance Bay set fire to their own city. And every week, the 3 Tusk Stelgar bring news of more desperate settlers pushing at our borders, trying to escape their plague of Anolfane children.
Suddenly you feel the presence of someone else in the hall. The Amanflath continues to glare at you, but something has stepped out of her skin. It reaches out to you.
Permitting more strangers the freedom of the city is out of the question right now. Go and be thankful that Anamfath Shimak doesn't sit in the passage of the Six today. He would not be so kind as I.
A vision of an Orlan man appears near Bethwell. He has the same green-brown fur and hazel eyes as she does. Help me reason with them, he points behind you. Turning, you see the ghostly shapes of 5 other Anamfatha, another Orlan with tawny fur and a scarred face, a frowning dwarf, a black-furred Orlan, and 2 elves. You're angry about something. I hear it in your voice. What is it? Are the outrages I listed for you not enough? Trouble brews, and none of it is my choosing. The spectral Orlan takes another step from her, setting his foot down with a slow, heavy motion. Tendrils of essence strain between them, and he grimaces and leans forward, as if struggling against a gale. The angry Amanfath winces. War. The spectral Orlan's voice is a rasping crook. They're headed for war. Remind them of Farwood's warning. Does Farwood's warning mean anything to you? Farwood's soul image gasps. Taut threads of essence tug at him, drawing him back into the Amathoth. He looks up at you again. I tried to tell them. The Builder's souls have touched even the Estramoran.
You'd better explain yourself.
The 2 intending tribesmen look from the Amanfoth to you, their sword hands ready. Her slitted pupils narrow. The Builder's souls have touched even the Esfasmoran. I don't know what's happening.
There's no way you could have known this saying. Not unless you are a Galuth on Anums, a watcher of souls.
Yes, I am a watcher. She nods. That explains much.
Feralt's warning came before the Broken Stone War. Feralt, my ancestor on my mother's side, was Anamfoth of our tribe then. When the Estromoric farmers defiled the builders' monuments, Feralt urged the other Anamfotha to patience. But louder, angrier voices prevailed. Feralt believed that the invaders could be taught to respect the builders as we do. He also believed the builders' souls had spread to all peoples, and that we should avoid needless conflict with others. More practically, he worried that a violent response would only spur further bloodshed across the generations, and you can see where we are today.
After 2 wars with the Direwood, his warning is more relevant than ever.
While Feralt's words were shrewd, they were ignored back then. Simply remembering his warning now will not undo the wars and the changes that the years have seen. There is blood on these stones, and that is all anyone remembers now.
An image of a polished Arda cube flashes into your mind. There is writing on the sides, but the image is too faint for you to read. The Amenfoth turns away from you and looks at the ground, gnawing a pointed claw. You can't change the past, but your choices now still matter. She looks at you sadly. Yes, that is the problem.
Another Estromor came through here a few days ago, and, well, letting him through was a mistake. One I am eager not to repeat. The Guided Compass tribe has a reputation for being too soft with Estromoran. One that will not be improved by my failure to stop this man who has desecrated our most sacred sites.
That sounds like the man I came here to stop.
I won't repeat a mistake in my haste to correct it. We bar Twin Elms from Estromoran to protect the ancient places that the Builders left behind. The Builders left this heritage to us to defend, but they alone had access to it. On this much, at least the 6 tribes agree.
You see again the polished Arda cornerstone in your mind. This time the image is clearer. Each face of the stone is inscribed with a phrase you know by heart. You feel your lips form words. A gift from the builders of civilization to the guardians of their legacy. May the guardians watch the door while the builders keep the key.
These were the words given to the keepers of the stone.
Bathel stares back at you, her tiny pointed teeth visible through her gaping mouth. So can I enter the city? I know.
Very well. The city is yours to explore. Tell the guard at the gate that you come to see the cornerstone with the blessing of the Guided Compass. If the gods have truly returned one of the builders to us, find the Delimgon of Ter Evron in Elms Reach. If the gods have sent you here with a purpose, the Delimgon will know.
Goodbye, Zath. Thank you for stopping by, as always. In the meantime, I shall be here to assist you. One of my companions, a representative of the Valian Republic, wishes to discuss a trade issue with you. The Orlan turns her gaze to Polgina. Yes, the Valian godlike, blessed of Hyleia. Polgina bristles and quickly spits out a response. So they say. The Anamoth's face shows no outward emotion, but her voice betrays annoyance at Polgina's interruption. And a diplomat of the Duke's bells. I understand you were to be sent here with trade assurances from your masters. Revered Amamoth, it is true that I was chosen to convey these assurances, but understand that I was fashioned more for war than etiquette. The Orlan smirks slightly. In these dangerous times, perhaps it is better to send warriors to do diplomats' work. Polgina musters a weak smile. Indeed. Amamoth, regarding the exclusive trade agreement. Her voice quivers slightly and her golden eyes dart in your direction. Nod head, smiling warmly. Polgina steels herself. The Republics feel it would be best long-term interests of all parties if you maintained your traditional good trades with the Direwood. The Amamoth's long ears pitch forward. A strange turn. What do the Republics want, then? Paulgina speaks quickly but confidently. Ta Ondra Terra pearls. Trade will be picking up quickly on them in the Eastern Reach. You will buy them exclusively for us for the next 5 years. In exchange, we will be your exclusive market for Adraban and Karo Golan for the same period. The Amathath considers Paulgina's words for several long moments. An interesting proposition, Villain. We will send emissaries south to discuss the details at greater length. Your appearance here speaks well of your duke's intentions. Paulgina bows deeply. Revered Amathath.
That's it. My position in the Brotherhood gone. I can't believe I just made up new trade terms to the Glanfath and Anamenfath. Postinago.
Pelagina, you did the right thing for the Republics. Even if the dukes can't see it from their vantage, you can deal with their disapproval later.
Verus. They have a saying in Biajepe. New gold clears even the oldest debts. If I'm right, all will be forgiven. If not, there's nothing I can do about it now.
Okay. Let's see. So now we can go anywhere, right? God, this is like Defiance Bay all over again. I have so many cities to visit. Let's do the Elms Reach first.
Yes?
Oh?
Oh, God. Do not try my patience, Estromar. You will not pass without the permission of the Amathatha. I came to see the cornerstone with the blessing of the guided compass. The guard scowls and looks at his companion, who nods back. He turns to you again, his knuckles whitening around the shaft of the spear. Always too cozy with the Estromorn. Go then, and mind your step around the sacred stones.
Certainly.
Do, 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 do. Oh, it's so pretty in here. There was nothing in there. Reminds me of Gilded Vale? That very first town where there was a lot of homes that didn't mean too much. Oh, I definitely want to look at the Golden Grove.
Builder's wisdom to you.
The elf holds a chipped wooden pipe. The sweet smoke wafting from the bowl makes you dizzy. Welcome, Estroma. I've got herbs and potions for sale. Looking for something to ease your travels or something to make them more interesting? When she grins, you see her teeth and gums are stained brown. All right, have a good nap, Tyrell. And thank you so much for being here. Haravis sniffs at the air, his smile growing wider with each twitch of his nose. White leaf, he says with a smile. I once ate a porcupine whole while smashed on white leaf. I miss those days. I'd like to see your stocks. I'll take that. Damn, this place has got like everything. Golden leaves shine as they fall from the
Builder's
trees.
wisdom to you.
Though his eyes are closed and his posture still, the man before you keeps his head aimed at you, as if carefully following your movements. Hail to you! May your time in the Golden Grove be enriching. If you are in need of services, he says, his eyes still closed, speak with Belda, and she will see your concerns. What can you tell me of the Golden Grove? We are naturalists, philosophers, herbalists, and teachers. The Ovids of the Golden Grove know that true wisdom comes from the study of the natural order. We endeavor to teach others to explore the world for themselves. The bark feels warm. The roots almost seem to twine around your hand. Golden leaves flash and shine as they fall from the tree. An elf with placid green eyes nods in greeting. Welcome to the Golden Grove, traveler.
Hail, Estramor.
Do you seek the wisdom of our herbalists, or simply to bask in Brethia's glory? Who leads your order? High Ovid Arona leads us. She sometimes journeys to Elmshore to renew her strength. However, she's there now with some of her closest followers, in fact. Arona is a mighty elm among us. She's lived for generations, but there are none who understand the world as well as she, and we are fortunate to have her wisdom to answer our questions. I would like to know more about Arona. Her eyes brighten. Why, you must meet her for yourself. She is wise and kind, and she has led her order from the beginning, yet she walks among us and gives us freely of herself. She turns her great gaze to the twisting elms. That is what many of us cherish about her. She is present among us in a way that the gods never are. Tell me about the Golden Grove. We are the Ovids, druids, philosophers, and students of nature. We gather here to share knowledge and celebration. She gestures to another elven woman standing near the entrance of the grove. Many travelers come to us for poultices and remedies. Belda understands the cures and poisons of nature like no other. What do you believe? We believe that knowledge is found in the earnest exploration of the natural world. She tilts her head. We do not, as some have said, oppose the gods. We simply believe that we have found a brighter, more peaceful path of devotion. I see. Actually, let's go to the Hall of the Warriors. A child. The most deadly warrior of them all.
Yes?
Yes.
Estramor?
It's the villain again. A grizzled old elf, his hair braided and dyed, stands at one end of the hall. His arms and chest are cross-hatched with the pale seams of scars. His crooked smile looks like another. It is not many Estramourn who are permitted into our sacred city. Bethwell must be feeling especially soft today. Come to hear your future at Terravon? His smile widens, exposing a row of yellowed crooked teeth. Or to make your own at the Blood Sands. What's Blood Sands? An ancient place of sacrifice. He laces his fingers together. In a cave by the great elms themselves. Rishton and his druids have been an integral part of the Glethethian society for generations. No matter what some of the other tribes might say, Erglanef has held its own against the Estramourn because some of us still understand the power of sacrifice. He gives you an inspiring eye. Does the thought make you uncomfortable? It should. It's what has kept our society alive for so long. Simic crosses his arms over his scarred chest. Something else? You didn't seem fond of us, Estraform. His hunched shoulders straighten. I have fought in the Broken Stone War and the War of the Black Trees. I saw my brethren cut down defending the place of the builders, and I shed blood alongside Gavin Regn himself. He coughs. Now the Estraform seem to think they will find a cure for their empty children along our sacred sites, or worse, they will find sanctuary in our lands. His gaze darkens. And I've seen what happens when they set their sights on Glathethian soil. They're desperate. The best of them want to find a cure, the worst are looking for an excuse to plunder. And this worries you. He snorts. I've seen too many wars for it not to worry me. In my 250 years, I've led my people through 2 wars. Our borders have remained intact, and largely through the reputation of the 3-tusked Stalgar. His voice drops to a growl. I've sired dozens of children, but none have been deemed fit to take my place. I care nothing for the legacies that obsess the Estremorn lords, but it is important that my successor continue this path. If your own children don't succeed you, what happens? Ordinarily, the Ryo would turn to others in my tribe, to clan heads and their families. Ordinarily, he levels his gaze, but we share a tradition of fostering the children of other tribes, and the Amafoth of Fisher's Crane are trusted his youngest to my care. He grimaces. And as none of my own blood are fit to take my place, the Ryo will look next to this bog child, the kin of another Amafoth, and my foster daughter to take my place. You should be so lucky, Haverus chirps. This young Fisher Crane lass is a great gift. You should be thankful. Heraphus's voice becomes a low whisper, especially given your familial feebleness. Couldn't you just send her back to her family? He shakes his head slowly. That would be a grave insult to the Fisher Crane. The repercussions with the other Amafatha would be severe. I have no doubt that she would make a fine leader, but not among the 3-tusked Stalgar. The Orlans of Fisher Crane have lived in the Iron Bog for thousands of years. They are cunning and furtive by nature, which serves them well when they have swamplands to hide their movements. He crosses his arms. But this will not deter the Estremorn on open ground. I wouldn't be so sure. There's greater fear in the unseen enemy. He points at the warriors gathered near the fire. Our savagery has deterred the Estremorn from further encroachment. They still tell of our deeds in the Broken Stone War, but if a child of Fisher Crane leads our tribe, we will lose that boldness, and the Estremorn will lose their fear of us. This child will be influenced by the souls of her ancestors. In times of crisis, she will look to her kin in the Theron Bog for guidance. No matter what I might try and teach her, it will not be enough. He considers you. There is a way you could help. Few have the stomach for it, but I think you have the perspective as to why unseen unpleasantness may be necessary. Oh, God. I'm not going to say anything. The Orlan girl has the soul of a leader. If it were passed to one of my own offspring, our tribe would remain strong. A Straugar at Simic's side scratches its massive head on an Amapheth leg. He remains steady on his feet. The Druids of the Bloodsands have a way to do this, and they understand the importance of a strong line of succession in the 3-tusked Stalgar. So many empty children, so empty families, and he would steal this child's essence for ambition? Let his ways die. Let his line die, if this is what it means. He gives you a key. There is a house in the southeast Hearthstone next to the river. The child will be asleep, and I've arranged for her to be unattended for a time. His voice becomes a quiet rumble. Take her and bring her to the keeper, Wada, in Bloodsands. She knows what must be done. When she presents you with this liquid essence, bring it back to me. I don't see why you need me to do this, because I cannot do it without attracting undue attention. He frowns. I don't relish passing my own burdens onto another, but this will incite a war between our tribes if I am caught. I bet I could say I would do this, but then not actually do it. But does that make me deceitful? This guy's a dick. What will Keeper Warda do with the child? His scar's face twists again. Have you seen the rituals of Bloodsands? She will sacrifice her. It is the only way to distill her essence. Paulgina's lips curl into a sneer. How quick the old are to sacrifice the young for their purposes. I will say I will do this, but I'm not actually going to do this. And I'm sure there's a way for me to fuck it up. I will help you. You are a friend to the Gothenian people. Act swiftly and quietly, Estremir. Okay. Now, I know you all are probably disappointed that I'd agree to do this, but you can trust me when I say that I will not do this. Oh, fuck. A young man approaches you with swift and purposeful stride. While you've never met him before, he has the same stern, wild look as Simuk. He doesn't speak until he's right next to you. When he does, his voice is quiet. Wait, I saw you speaking with my father. What's this about? He glances back at the room with Simuk. He asked you to sacrifice Vela, hasn't he? He grits his teeth. Maybe he's right about the 3 Tustalgar growing weak, but if this isn't the price of strength, it isn't worth it. The tribes have survived this long because we've stuck together. The grieving mother nods. Barely more than a child himself, and yet he speaks wisdom. Compassion. A pity his own people did not deem him fit to lead. Do you have another? I would never hurt the child. He sighs. You did not seem like one who would, but my father will find someone who will. He doesn't give up on an idea easily. He sighs again. But there may be a way to stop him. He frowns. There's a herbalist among the Ovets in the Golden Cove. Belta. That's her name. They all gather southeast of here by the river. She could brew a poison. Simic wouldn't know the difference until it's too late. Let me guess. If Simic dies, you'll be next in line. It's not like that. The Ryo have already determined that my soul isn't strong enough. Whoever follows my father, it won't be me. Why not just return this child to her birth parents? It's complicated. A child sent to be fostered by another tribe isn't allowed to return. Unfortunately, explaining that we're shielding her from my father would make matters much worse for both tribes. He tugs at a thin braid. There's an easier way to kill Simic, you know. His warriors would surround you in no time. Besides, it's simplest if it happens quietly. I really just want to do a big fat murder. I just want to kill everybody, because then I can loot. I'm not allowed to have any fun in this game. Fine, I'll poison your father. With another glance at the Simuk's chamber, he backs towards the door. Like I said, you'll find Belda in the Golden Grove. Good luck. I'm gonna go poison this man really fast. And welcome home, Yak.
Good.
What's good? She's like right here.
Hail, Estramor.
Oh, it's not you. Alright, bye. Wait, where'd she go? Oh, right here. I hear that you make certain poisons. She takes a deep draw on her pipe. Poisons? I only deal in tonics that heal and enlighten. She exhales a puff of smoke. Of course, many beneficial substances can be harmful when taken in great quantities, but that's just Wetha's way of keeping all things in balance. Really? What kind of substances? She leans against the winding tree trunk and ticks the items off her fingers. Oh, there's plenty. Concentrated Caragolon, unstilled spider venom, rotten blood moss extract, cave coral mixed with skein bow. Which one? Do you have any rotten blood moss extract? She stops counting and scratches her head. That's a strange thing to want, but I suppose it's stranger still that I have some. What would you want with that? Well, my friend Stelgar is dying, and he wants to ease the creature's passing. She frowns, her teeth clamped around the pipe. Poor thing. Here, take this. She gives you a vial filled with dark liquid. It works slowly, but this will send him back to the cycle kindly enough. Just see that it doesn't get misplaced. Half the dose would kill an Amara. She taps ash from her pipe into the grass. Was there anything else I can do for you? Nope. Anyway, gonna go poison a man. Excuse me. Pardon me. I feel like I'm leaving quite the paper trail. I think we should have just done a big stabbings. just want to stab. Hey. Oh, I have to give this man the poison. Is that how this is going to be? Here's the potion you asked for. He looks at from the vial and you're handed back to you. Something's wrong. His eyes narrow. What are you trying to give me? This is it's poison. Hell yeah. This is what I'm talking about. I don't have a tank. Well, oh, that's right. I don't even have arrow abilities because my life is terrible. We will probably die in here. I wish I had a tank so very, very much.
Beyond sea.
Oh god.
Mo.
This is never gonna happen. Yeah, no. Fair enough. Fair enough. Oh, I'll kill them. I'll kill them tomorrow. I'll figure it out. People aren't geared or leveled. I still don't have a tank, but I ain't scared. We'll do the big murders tomorrow. I am currently out of time. Thank you so very much for being here. If you're looking for more about me and what I do, you can find all those links in my About page. You can find my Discord and my Twitter and my YouTube, where you can watch the beginning of this series and all the others that I've played, like Celeste and Undertale and Beholder and, you know, World of Warcraft. And that will be it. I will be back tomorrow with more Pillars of Eternity at 6 p.m. EST, but you can catch me a little bit earlier at 2 p.m. EST with more Darkest Dungeons. I actually think we're hitting about the end of that game. It could all come crashing down, or we could actually defeat the Darkest Dungeon. Stronger, greater powers than I know how that's all gonna shake out. But thank you again for being here. I could not do it without, anybody watching. So thank you for being here, and I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye!